I couldn't find happiness in anything. I started reviewing all the places I was searching, like money, jewelry and women. Look at the lifestyle we was living. Now I find satisfaction in the simple things. Look at the inner peace that religion brings. Like just knowing your purpose in life. Like knowing the angel of death could take your soul tonight. Like the possibility of you getting to paradise. You know, knowing you can get there if you're living right.
At the end of the day, when we really get to the forefront of the game and whatnot, you'll see how creative man really is and what man can do the girl thing, the money thing, the club thing, the gun thing, the rude boy thing, the gun, drugs, anything, killing, whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Bashir Abu Khadija Blendman. You might have known me before as Dubble, and approximately 3 years ago, I done a documentary for Roadside to Islam about how I came to Islam. 3 years later, a lot's happened, and alhamdulillah, like I say, there was a lot of doubts. There was a lot of people were skeptical about the change. A lot of people thought maybe it was a phase and whatnot, but alhamdulillah, I'm still here by the mercy of Allah. Subhanallah. When I did the documentary, technically it was maybe one of the worst parts of my life because I was going for a rocky marriage. I never had a job. I just lost my twin girls. My twin girls just died. But in reality, it was maybe the happiest part of my life. My iman had never been so high, and it's a part of my life that, like I say, a lot of things happened that have molded me into the person I am today, alhamdulillah. من ترك شيئا لله أوده الله خيرا منه. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that whoever leaves something for the sake of Allah, he will replace it with better. And wallahi, this has played a major part in my life for many reasons. Like you know, and like some people know, when I came to Islam, when I made the change, a lot was happening in my life, and a lot of so-called good things were happening for me. Being record deals and whatnot, CDs in major stores, and obviously money and the whole lifestyle that comes with it. And alhamdulillah, I changed for the sake of Allah, not for the sake of people. And one thing people don't realize is that I thought that things were going to get very bad for me. But alhamdulillah, Allah protected me up until this day. And alhamdulillah, things are getting better. Like you know, like some people know, I live in Mecca now. And I never thought in a million years that I would even visit this place. But alhamdulillah, I live here now. But subhanallah, it's something that it shows that everything is easy for Allah. To think that I come from a background where I never even went to college. I went to college for like maybe 2 weeks. Never went to university, never had a job before Islam and these type of things. Subhanallah, and to think that Allah has blessed me and brought me to this land, it's something that is beyond. It was beyond my imagination. Like I say, some people could say that maybe I'm like a living example that if you leave something for the sake of Allah, then He will replace it with better. Like some people know, I had like a fake degree in these things, but when I got my teacher qualification, and many people told me to use it. I was offered jobs here and whatnot, but I decided to rip it because I thought I'm not going to lie for the rest of my life. And I know that Allah will make a way for me, inshallah. Before I knew it, I had a job in Medina. Like I said, there's many situations that happened when I was still in the UK. And it just proves that, like I say, when you have patience and whatnot, then Allah will make a way for you. A lot of you think that you have no hope and whatnot. But wallahi, I'm telling you, everything's easy for Allah. Kun fayakun. Allah just says it and it is. And it's living proof that, like I said, this deen is something that is much better than whatever you're holding on to in this life of crime and music and these type of things. And Allah will replace all the things that you're leaving in this life for much better things.
Came a long way from Guns N' Roses. I was on them streets to Islam. Now I'm standing up like a soldier. Still greet my brother with a palm. Waiting on Judgment Day. Could have died in those streets we used to play. But now we change. Da 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 da. We praise His name. Allah, Allah, Allah. 'Cause now we change. Da 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 da. We praise His name. Allah, Allah, Allah.
Subhanallah. You learn about Jannah and you learn about Jahannam and the Barzakh. is enough for you to want to change and to want to do the right thing, and obviously not to gamble with your akhirah. But obviously with the thought that, you know, Allah replaces what you left for better, was a good incentive for me to change. So I always had it in my mind that inshallah I'll be a halal millionaire. Other things as well, obviously, like friends saying funny things like next year inshallah you're gonna do i'tikaf in haram, and I'm thinking that they're crazy and it's not gonna happen. And subhanallah, the next year I did i'tikaf in haram. Even my friend Abu Bakr, I remember I went to do Umrah. I had the chance to do either do Umrah or go to Egypt for some time. He said, no, go and do Hajj, Akhi. Do Hajj. And in my mind I'm thinking, like, give me the money to do Hajj and I'll do Hajj. I don't have the money to do Hajj. The same year, subhanallah, I did Hajj. But like I said, the build up for that time it wasn't easy. Like I said, I had to make a lot of difficult choices that I don't need to disclose on the documentary. But like I say, it wasn't easy. So I don't want anyone to get the notion that when you make these changes and big things happen in your life, that these changes are easy. It takes a lot of patience. It takes a lot of tawakkul in Allah. You have to really trust in Allah that Allah will make your affairs easy. So, and that's what He done. Like I say, I did my CELTA, and like I mentioned before, you know, like I had a fake degree, and it got ripped up because I didn't want to lie and whatnot. And Allah allowed me to get my first job in Medina. And like I say, takhayl, like imagine what it's like to get an email thinking that maybe you get a job in Dammam or Riyadh or somewhere, but they say that your job is in Medina. And this is from someone that never had a job in his life, went to college for 2 weeks. And now, like I say, I'm not in Medina no more, I'm in Mecca now. I was in Medina for a year. An amazing experience, subhanAllah. Something I'll never forget. And like I say, spent some time back in the UK, and then when I came back, I had no intention of living in Mecca. But when I was in London, I had a lot of problems with my visa and whatnot. I said to Allah, if you want to stay here, then leave me here, no problem, I'd accept this from you. Just give me Firdaus al-A'la as my reward, inshallah. And subhanAllah, like we know the salah in Mecca is worth 100,000. The equivalent of 65 years, subhanAllah. So you can imagine what it feels like to know I live in a place that every time I pray my salah, I get the reward of 65 years worth of salah. It's something that is still something that's very hard for me to get my head around, that to think I'm here, knowing where I'm coming from, and ask Allah to continue to facilitate me a khair. But like I say, these steps are not easy, and I don't expect anyone to think they're easy. But Allah can do, Allah does what He wants. And like I say, it's one thing I want the brothers and sisters to realize as well is that when I look back on my life, say 5 years ago, 6 years ago, like I say, I was a criminal, I was a rapper. Like I say, I was like very close to either death or prison. And to think that I'm here now, it just shows that Islam is something that has come to change the people. Like we know, Islam came to perfect the people, and it come to change the people. So if you're not willing to change yourself, you're not ready to even down to your mannerisms, even down to the way you speak, the way you walk, the way you dress, you should be willing to change if you want Allah to change your life. A lot of people, they're stuck in their ways. They want to still carry this kind of gangbanger mentality, or this provocative woman persona, and they think Allah's going to change their lives. It doesn't work like that. You can't. I don't see you going from the nightclub or from the studio and coming straight to live in Mecca. And that's what a lot of these people expect, but it's not realistic. So like I say, one thing that is very important for the people to understand, that you have to be willing to change. Like a lot of the brothers that you know that have come to Islam and Allah's blessed them with good lives now, they were totally different people before. They changed the way they speak, they changed the way they dress, the way they act, the way they deal with the people. Even down to small things like littering and smiling, and the small things that people have changed about themselves, when before we were from the oppressors, we were from the worst of people. And Allah's blessed us with Islam, so it's upon us to change, and alhamdulillah, that's what a lot of us have done. So it's very important for people to realize that it's not something that you could take lightly, and it's something that you could just kind of drag your feet with. You have to be willing to change and to try to gain the pleasure of Allah to the best of your ability. One thing I want the people to understand, is that don't ever think I don't understand how difficult it is for you to change. I know what it's like to have a low level of fame and to know what type of fitna that is to leave. Do you understand? I understand. But at the same time, you guys now, a lot of the guys I was with before, you're dealing with a lot of fame now. You're famous, you're on TV every day and whatnot. You're making a lot of money. I understand. But what you don't understand is that what you're holding on to And what Allah has for you in replacement is much better for you. You can leave these dirty women, you can have a pious woman. Do you understand? You leave these bad friends, and Allah will give you brothers. You leave this dirty haram money, Allah can give you good halal money. Like I'm telling you, anything that you're holding on to, Allah can replace it for you. But more importantly, like I say, it's the peace you're gonna have in your heart, the happiness you're gonna have in your heart, and the hope of something that is never gonna end for you. Like I say, you can't gamble with your afterlife. You can't gamble with your life. I was never a gambler in Jahiliyyah, and I'm not gonna gamble with my life now. So I don't see why a lot of these people choose to gamble with their lives now. You know this life you live in is temporary. And a lot of you that have that little knowledge that you have, you know that you're gonna have to answer for the things you're doing. So don't think I don't understand what you're going through, but at the same time you have to ask yourself, is it really worth it? Allah's promised you houses with gold and silver bricks, mansions. He's promised you a woman that you're gonna stare at for 40 years when you first see her. He's promised the last one of you that enters paradise a property that is 10 times the size of the whole earth. Why would you want to gamble with this, brothers? Why? Doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. And it's something that is very important for the people to understand in totality, is that before I came to Islam, I didn't like the Muslims. Like, you know, there's a lot of problems in and around London, and a lot of the Muslims were oppressing people to come to Islam, robbing them or whatever. They were doing a lot of bad things from ignorance. And a lot of them, alhamdulillah, they're practicing now, but a lot of them, they're not even practicing, they're not even Muslim anymore. So it showed that what these people were on was not Islam. And that's something that I came in contact with personally, and a lot of my friends came in contact with. And like you know, we weren't easy in Jahiliyyah, so we didn't accept this behavior. And a lot of people died, a lot of bad things happened because of these issues with Muslims. So I didn't like Muslims. My cousin, he came to Islam in prison. And when he came out, I said, you know, obviously he said he's Muslim. You can imagine I had no respect for him. And I said, I don't want to have to do with this Muslim business. I don't have anything to do with it. We said, like, please, cuz, yeah, understand that Islam is that we believe in Allah. We believe in the angels. We believe in the messengers. We believe in the books of Allah. We believe in the day of judgment, and we believe in the predestination of Allah. We call it the qadr. Wallahi, that was a very angry moment for me, because I thought, I know all these Muslims. Why did any of them tell me this? Like a lot of you know, I was searching for Allah. For the whole of my life, I've been searching for Allah. But all in the wrong places. Looking into a lot of bad things I was looking into. Obviously, this was the qadr of Allah, that He want me to understand the rest of the rubbish out there, so that when I came to Islam, I would appreciate it. But no one ever told me this. All I knew was bad image of Muslims, of people that didn't take their religion seriously. And they didn't even take the time to tell me what the belief system was. So when I knew this, I think maybe the next day I was in the masjid, praying, fasting. My first salah was Salatul Eid, in the masjid, praying, fasting, stop smoking, stop drinking, living like a Muslim. And a lot of you don't know, my name was Bashir before Islam. I was born with the name Bashir. This was my name as a kafir. This was my name. So when a friend of mine, his mother, saw me one day, and she knows I go to the masjid, she knows I pray, she knows I fast and all these things, she knows my name is Bashir. She said, yeah, you're Muslim, aren't you, Bashir? You're Muslim. I said, no, I'm not Muslim. Like, my actions are of the Muslim, but I don't want to be a Muslim. I don't respect the Muslims. I don't want to be a Muslim. I just want to do the actions of the Muslim. She got very upset with me. Said, nah, you have to take this, you have to take Shahada. You have to. How can you not be a Muslim? You have to take Shahada. So I said to her, don't worry, Mum. Tonight I'll pray Salat Istikhara, and inshallah Allah will give me an answer in my dream, inshallah. And like you know, Salat Istikhara is something that's known to the Muslims. But like I say, this was the level of my Islam before I even came to Islam. Because I was practicing maybe like nearly a year before I even came to Islam. That night I had a dream. I don't know who it was, but I know who it was. But I was in my house and someone was speaking from the roof from above me, saying, Bashir, what's wrong with you? You're a Muslim. Khalas, you're a Muslim. What's wrong with you? The next day, I said, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. But like I say, something I said before, and it just shows the fitrah of the human being, that Islam is something that's been put in us since we were born. And sometimes all you have to do is convey it to the person. Don't give people a bad impression of Islam, and take responsibility for yourself in regards to the people. Because if you call people to evil, you'll be rewarded for this. And if you call people to good, you'll also be rewarded for this. And one thing that you know that will be held accountable for on the day of judgment is the relationship we had with the non-Muslims and how we conveyed the deen to these people. If we did it or if we didn't do it. So if you're one of the people that, like I say, are keeping people away from the deen, you need to be very careful and try to rectify your affairs, inshallah. Wallahi, a lot of us, before Islam, this is all we needed. And obviously the guidance is from Allah, but I advise other people, like I say, to take heed from this, to know that you have to be very careful about how you convey Islam to the people.
Not for no, like I say, you got to remember that the next project now, I will expand, but right now, it don't make sense, you know what I'm saying, because I'm not trying to be like this whole affiliation thing with other people, you know what I mean, there's a lot of politics going on.
Yeah. My
people you see me with, I don't care how long I've known you, not in a bad way, but if you got to put me blade or any mic, like vibe, anyway, I don't care how long I've known you. You know what I'm saying? It's one of them ones, so I'd rather just keep with my people because it's very political right now. But definitely at the same time, it's like I rate my people. I don't really rate everyone right now. It's not that bad. I don't rate everyone. I rate my niggas in it, so I'd rather keep it like that, innit? Not personal.
What was Bashir like before Islam? I can say, you know, it was always one thing about Bashir. Was always intelligent in it, but you know, we were just kind of like young youths on the roads. You understand? Like we was always kind of got distracted by them kind of things there, but like one thing I can always say about him, like I said, he was intelligent. So it's like, even before he got into Islam, you know, we would be doing whatever we was doing, keeping up whatever nonsense we was keeping up. But one thing, we would like go home and read up things and research things and always getting knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Some of the knowledge that we was getting may have been a bit off course, but we was always wanted to kind of learn, and it's kind of a thing that will probably surprise you about us, you understand? But, you know, like I said, we was young youths, we was on the roads, we was doing certain things we know we're not supposed to be doing, but yeah, man, Bashir, he was, you know, he's always been a good person, big heart, funny, do you understand? That's the kind of things that come into my head when I think about Bashir. We was more about money, do you understand? We was always trying to make money and stuff. Like, as you can see, another thing about his persona, he was flashy, he was about his clothes, he was about his jewels. Do you understand? So, you know, that was the, you know, the Dubble kind of side of him. Do you understand? So it's like, there's one thing I can definitely say about Bashir. Like, obviously, when I kind of first see him, obviously there was a time in South London, as everybody knows, well, not South London, all of London, where, you know, like probably like early 03, 04, 05, when there was like a lot of young black youths kind of getting into Islam, some for the right reasons, some for the wrong reasons. But I remember when that period was happening, like, he wasn't really he was still in his Tottenham frame of mind, like, rah, nah, da, da, da. Like, he didn't really take to it at first, do you understand? But one thing I can say about Bashir is that when he did get into Islam, even when we were still doing madnesses, he would always stop to find time to pray. And I can, like, being in my house, you understand? We was together all the time, like, he used to come down to, like I said, he got family and stuff, he used to come down, check me. I used to go to Tottenham, be up there for days with, like, we used to, you understand, roll. So I've seen it, like, even when we was doing wrongness, he would always stop and find time to pray. So that's when I could see him start to take it seriously, do you understand? So yeah. What difference do I see in Bashir? I mean, there's a big difference. Obviously, like, the things that he was into before, like I said, the money, clothes, jewels, girls, all of that stuff. He just sat there. I remember one time, like, when I didn't see him for a little while, and we met up and had a food, and he was just like, bro, none of this stuff interests me anymore, and it's like the best thing ever. Like, my mind's clear. All of these little things that we used to chase and go and do whatever for to try and get, I don't care about anymore. So it was just, that was like, for me to hear that coming from him was the big thing, because obviously that was what our lives was about, really. So it's like, that's one of the biggest changes, and obviously, like, yeah, man, he just, to be honest, yeah, he seems happier as a person still when I talk to him. So that's like that is a big, massive change, isn't it? I mean, Islam to me has always been one of the religions that I've always kind of understood more than other religions, you understand? But it's just, me as a person, I feel everybody's kind of got their time where they take to something or do you understand? But now, obviously, he's definitely changed my views, because like I said, back in the day where certain man was joining for the wrong reasons, because they were scared in the streets, whatever, or all of that crap, like, that's when a lot of people even stayed away from it just so they didn't look like they was, do you understand, coming to Islam because they were scared. So it's like, it worked and it didn't work, because obviously a lot of man did turn, you understand, go, turn to Islam and do it the proper way. And Bashir is like probably one of the biggest examples I've ever seen. Do you understand? Because he's literally changed his life around. As you know, he doesn't live in the country no more. He's in Saudi, teaching, doing good things, started his family. So, yeah, obviously, definitely my perception of Islam has changed from watching his experience.
All right, Bashir, subhanAllah, it's been 3 years roughly since we did that Roadside to Islam interview. And subhanAllah, as we both know, since we did that interview, many people shocked. Alhamdulillah, the interview just got under 500,000 views. And so much reaction in regards to you becoming a Muslim, leaving the music industry, and coming to the religion of Islam. So we just want to talk briefly about some of the comments and some of the feedback and some of the things a lot of people said. And I just want to get some of your feedback in regards to this. Now, one of the biggest comments that I saw from a lot of people, whether they were Muslims or not, were saying that this guy, Bashir B. Dubble, he ain't gonna last. This is not a reality. This guy is proper fully on this road, living the street life. I can't see it lasting a year or two. Now we're 3 years on, you being in the deen of Islam. What have you got to say to people who had that kind of reaction towards yourself?
Bismillah. To be honest, bro, yeah, I don't blame them. Yeah, I don't blame them. We know that the current situation with the Muslims at the moment is that this is the reality. Like they come to the deen, either they leave the deen completely, or like I say, they backtrack into their old lifestyles. Maybe they're still Muslim, but generally, there's not a lot of success stories, so to say. And my story is not a success story because I'm still alive. I'm not dead yet. When I'm dead, then we can really, we can be happy about what's happened. But at the moment, I'm not safe. All it is that Allah has had mercy on me so far. And like I said, alhamdulillah, I've done my best to try to please Allah to the best of my ability and to stay in the deen of Islam. So I don't blame them, to be honest. I don't blame them.
We know a lot of brothers who come from a similar background from yourself, who were like heavy involved in the music industry, whether it's the rap industry, garage, whatever, UK scene. And we know a lot of brothers and even sisters are struggling in regards to this, like leaving the music. What advice have you got to any brothers and sisters who are like coming from the same transition as yourself, to give them some kind of encouragement to leave that kind of lifestyle, to be on the same similar pathway as yourself?
First and foremost, like I say, you and myself, we know, like obviously, no matter how, maybe not even yourself, but I know more so me. I know this is the case. People think that I'm not so understanding and I'm a bit shadid, a bit firm with the people. It's only because I feared to go back to this life myself, and I don't want to put people in a situation where they think that it's okay what they're doing. Even though I understand what they're going through, I understand because we're all humans, but our soul is inclined to evil. So we're going to be inclined to do these things, and like I say, there is benefit in it in regards to the dunya. You become famous, you get women, you get money, you get to enjoy yourself, so on and so forth. But the situation is, the reality is that it's not like what you're doing. You promoting evil and violence and crime and sex and drugs and these type of things. You have to be accountable for all of this, do you understand? So it doesn't matter what we have to say about this situation. All they have to do is they have to be sincere and just check any book of shirk, any book of kufr, any book of major sins, any book of these situations, you understand? It's very easy to do light research in regards to the sins that they're doing. And when they understand the punishment that's involved in these type of sins they're doing, and the repercussions that happens, and the effect it has on the Muslims and the non-Muslims, they'll realize how severe the situation is. So like, it's not about what we've got to say, to be honest. You have to ask yourself, are you sincere? Do you want good for yourself? Do you want to go to Jannah? Do you want a good life now? Not just Jannah, but you want a good life in the dunya as well. Because most of these guys are not happy. And like I said, the only reason why I do come across so hard with these people, because these are not American guys, do you understand? These are not guys that are making money from music. These are guys that are just selling drugs and promoting it just to be famous on YouTube or whatever. A lot of these guys have never seen a penny from music. So what you're doing, you're showing that your level of insincerity is through the roof. Because I've been on the street before rap and all these type of things, driving a Corsa, selling a bag of guns every day, selling drugs, whatever. Do you understand? I didn't want no one to know what I was doing. I just wanted the money. So a lot of these guys say we're just doing it for the money. If you're doing it for the money, you just be on the road like everyone else, doing it quietly and getting the money. You won't be spending all of your money just to be famous. Do you understand? And that's what these guys, I'm telling you, the reality is that's what a lot of them are doing. They're not making a penny from the music. They're probably never going to make a penny from the music. They're just selling drugs and spending it on music videos to look famous, any type of thing. So, and again, I understand why they do it. Because there's benefit. They can go to a nightclub, they can go on the street, everyone likes them, everyone knows them, everyone thinks they're rich. And sometimes people thinking you're rich is more fun than actually being rich. And that's the reality. Some people don't, like a lot of these rappers, even the famous American ones, they don't have any money, but everyone thinks they have money. It looks like they have money. They have the things that necessitate you thinking they have money. So sometimes it's more fun than the man that's a millionaire that wears a tracksuit and, you know what I mean, he drives a normal car. Like how, like, I'm not saying he was millionaires, but we made money. Quietly, do you understand? So it's a situation. What they have to do is be sincere. If you don't want good for yourself, if you don't want to go to Jannah, then that's your business. But if you want good for yourself, you want Jannah and these things, just do what we've done. We took time, we begged Allah to guide us, we asked, we made a lot of dua, we tried to rectify our situations, and we tried to seek knowledge. And the rest is with Allah. That's the best advice I can give to you.
Yeah.